What if I told you that a single spice sitting in your cabinet works better than most expensive kidney supplements? This isn't just hype, because the latest research actually shows how powerful these natural ingredients can be for your health. Your kidneys are incredible machines that filter between 120 and 150 quarts of blood every single day, just to produce urine. Once you cross the age of 60, that filtration process naturally slows down by about 25%, meaning your kidneys simply don't work as hard as they did in your younger years. The good news is that your body has a built-in repair window every single night while you sleep, which is exactly when your kidneys perform their deepest cleaning. You might be wondering how to help them, and it turns out there are 5 common kitchen spices that can actually turbocharge that nighttime recovery process. We are going to rank these spices by how much they improve your kidney filtration overnight. And while they aren't miracle cures, they genuinely change how your organs function. Some of these ingredients reduce internal inflammation, while others increase blood flow to your filtering units or act as natural diuretics that don't force your kidneys to work harder. The order of this list matters, because we are building from basic foundation support all the way up to the most powerful option available. Let's start with the one spice that almost everyone already has in their kitchen right now. Garlic serves as your foundation spice because it is the easiest to use and the safest way to start improving your kidney health. To understand why it works, we have to look at a compound called allicin that only forms when you crush or chew raw garlic cloves. Allicin is a heavy hitter. It reduces oxidative stress inside your kidney tissue, which you can think of as rust forming on metal, and damaging your cells from the inside out. Garlic stops that rust from forming. But the benefits don't stop there. Since high blood pressure is one of the biggest threats to your long-term kidney health, specifically, high pressure damages the glomeruli, which are the tiny filtering units that clean your blood. Garlic helps lower that pressure naturally, so your kidneys don't have to fight so hard to do their job. Most people find that eating 1 to 2 raw cloves daily works well, or you can opt for 600 to 1,200 milligrams of aged garlic extract if you prefer supplements. While cooked garlic loses some of its potency, it still provides some benefit to your system. Though the timing of when you take it is what really matters. You should always take garlic with your meals, instead of on an empty stomach, to avoid digestive upset. And an evening dose is especially helpful for regulating your blood pressure while you sleep. There is one safety detail you need to keep in mind. You must talk to your doctor first if you are already taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, because garlic also thins the blood. Combining the two could cause issues. But for everyone else, it is a perfectly safe and effective tool for daily use. Studies even show that garlic reduces proteinuria, which is the medical term for protein leaking into your urine. And when that leakage stops, it's a clear sign your kidneys are finally filtering better. Garlic is just the warm-up for our list. And this next spice is where the real anti-inflammatory power starts to kick in. Now we move into the herbal allies, and dandelion is the one most people overlook, even though it is genuinely powerful for kidney health. You might think of dandelion as nothing more than a stubborn weed in your yard, but it is actually one of the best natural kidney supports available today. The reason this plant works so well is that the root acts as a gentle diuretic, which means it increases urine flow, so waste gets flushed out of your system much faster. There is a critical difference between dandelion and the harsh pharmaceutical diuretics you might find at a pharmacy. While those harsh medications force your kidneys to work overtime and strip out the potassium your body needs, dandelion does the opposite. It increases flow without that extra strain. Since the plant naturally contains high levels of potassium, It actually replaces what gets lost when you urinate more, which is why it nourishes your kidneys at the same time it cleanses them. Getting the dosage right is straightforward. Drinking 1 to 2 cups of dandelion tea daily works very well for most people. You can also use a tincture by taking 1 teaspoon 2 to 3 times a day. But just make sure you are using the root rather than the leaf if you want the strongest effect. Timing matters quite a bit here. So you should take your dandelion in the morning or early afternoon to avoid extra bathroom trips during the night. If you take it too late, you will be waking up constantly. And that disrupts the deep sleep your kidneys need to actually repair themselves. There are a few things you need to watch for before you start this routine. If you have gallstones or a bile duct obstruction, you should avoid dandelion entirely because it can make those conditions much worse. It can also interact with diabetes medications by lowering your blood sugar too much. So, check with your doctor first if you are managing that condition. Some people who suffer from ragweed allergies might also react to dandelion, since they are in the same plant family. If none of those issues apply to you, dandelion is perfectly safe for daily use and has been a staple of traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine for centuries. Modern research confirms these ancient practices, showing that dandelion increases urinary output without causing that dangerous electrolyte loss. You are essentially flushing out waste without damaging your kidney function in the process. Dandelion is ranked 4th because it works more gently than the ingredients coming up next, and you will need to use it consistently for about 4 to 6 weeks before you notice a real difference. Now we move into the heavy hitters, including one that hospitals are actually researching right now. Turmeric is a true anti-inflammatory powerhouse that targets the root cause of kidney damage. While garlic focuses on blood pressure and dandelion handles the flushing, turmeric goes after chronic inflammation, which is the main reason kidney health declines over time. The secret is a compound called curcumin that blocks an inflammation pathway inside your kidney cells, known as NFKB. When you block that specific pathway, you stop inflammation from spreading through your kidney tissue and causing further harm. The benefits actually go much deeper than just reducing swelling. Chronic kidney disease often gets worse because the tissue becomes scarred, a process called fibrosis. But curcumin has been shown to reduce this scarring significantly. It helps your kidneys repair damaged tissue, instead of just forming scar tissue, which is why turmeric is so much more effective than supplements that only hide your symptoms. This ingredient actually interrupts the cycle that damages your kidneys at a cellular level. To fix the problem where it starts, to get these results, you need between 500 and 2,000 milligrams of curcumin every day. You should look for a standardized extract rather than just using raw turmeric powder from the spice aisle, because your body has a very hard time absorbing raw turmeric on its own. You also need black pepper, which contains a compound called piperine that increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That is not an exaggeration, and it makes a massive difference in how much of the medicine actually reaches your kidneys. A simple way to get this right is by making golden milk, which is just a mix of turmeric, milk, and black pepper. When you combine the turmeric with a little bit of fat and pepper, your body can actually use it, whereas most of it would just pass through your system unused otherwise. Just like with garlic, you should take your turmeric with meals that contain some fat, like coconut oil or ghee. Taking a dose in the evening is a great idea, because it supports your body during its natural overnight repair phase. Before you start, there is some safety information you need to know. Turmeric acts as a natural blood thinner. So if you are currently taking warfarin or aspirin, you must talk to your doctor first. High doses can sometimes cause an upset stomach, so it is best to start with a low amount and build up slowly over time. If you are prone to gallstones, be careful with high doses, and those on diabetes medication should monitor their blood sugar closely. For most people over the age of 60, turmeric is an incredibly safe and effective way to protect their health. Multiple clinical trials have shown that curcumin can slow the decline of your GFR, which is the score doctors use to measure how well your kidneys are filtering. It also helps reduce proteinuria, that protein leakage we mentioned earlier. Because it is documented in peer-reviewed studies to slow the progression of kidney disease, turmeric earns the number 3 spot on our list. However, this next ingredient targets kidney filtration directly and provides exactly what your kidneys need to function. What if I told you that a simple root sitting in your kitchen right now is the closest thing to an actual kidney flush on this entire list? Ginger acts as an overnight filtration optimizer. But it works differently than the other spices we have discussed so far. The secret lies in 2 active compounds called gingerol and shogaol, which are the heavy hitters that do all the heavy lifting for your renal system. When you consume ginger, these compounds work to improve renal blood flow, meaning more blood reaches your kidneys to be processed and cleaned. Because more blood is moving through the system, your body can remove waste much more effectively than it could on its own. Beyond just moving blood around, ginger actually increases your glomerular filtration rate, which is a technical term for the speed at which your kidneys filter your blood. You might know this as your GFR, and when that number goes up, it means you are filtering out toxins faster and with much less effort. On top of that, ginger helps reduce inflammatory markers within the kidney tissue itself, giving you a triple threat of benefits: better blood flow, faster filtration, and less inflammation, all at once. Which is exactly why ginger earned the number 2 spot on our list. Getting the dosage right is quite simple. Just 1 to 2 grams of fresh ginger every day is enough to see a real difference. You can easily brew a warm ginger tea or grate the fresh root directly into your meals. But if you prefer the convenience of capsules, look for a standardized extract. You want to find a product that contains 4 to 8% gingerols to ensure you are getting enough of that active ingredient to matter. However, the timing of when you take it is what really makes the difference for your health. I recommend drinking your ginger tea about 30 to 60 minutes before you go to bed, because this timing is absolutely critical for your recovery. Your kidneys perform their deepest repair work while you are asleep, which is your body's natural window for detoxification and healing. By taking ginger in the evening, you are optimizing that window and giving your kidneys the support they need exactly when they are working the hardest. The research backs this up, with studies showing that ginger increases urine output while simultaneously reducing levels of a waste product called creatinine. When your creatinine levels drop, it is a clear sign that your kidneys are functioning at a higher level than before. While animal models show improved kidney perfusion, human trials have confirmed that people taking ginger daily show measurable improvements in their kidney function within just 4 to 6 weeks. Now, we do need to talk about safety for a moment, because ginger has some of the same interactions as garlic or turmeric. If you are currently taking blood thinners like warfarin or aspirin, you must check with your doctor before adding ginger to your daily routine. Some people might experience a bit of heartburn. So if you struggle with acid reflux, it is best to start with a small amount to see how your stomach handles it. You should also be aware that ginger can lower your blood pressure, which might cause dizziness if you are already taking blood pressure medication. The same caution applies to diabetes drugs, as ginger can sometimes lower your blood sugar a bit too much when combined with those prescriptions. If you aren't on those specific medications, Ginger is perfectly safe for daily use. But remember, consistency is the key to seeing results. It takes about a month of steady use to see a change. So don't expect an overnight miracle. But stick with it, and your kidneys will truly thank you. Coming in at the #1 spot is parsley, which might be a surprise to you, because most people think of it as nothing more than a garnish on the side of a plate. It is actually one of the most powerful kidney herbs available to us, and it outperforms every other spice we have talked about today. What sets parsley apart is a volatile oil called apiol, which acts as a potent natural diuretic to help your body flush out excess fluids. It increases your urine output much faster than dandelion or ginger. But here is where it gets really interesting. While it's helping you flush your system, parsley is also working to reduce kidney inflammation at the exact same time. This means you are getting a direct improvement in filtration and a reduction in stress on the organ simultaneously, which is a combination no other spice on this list handles quite as well. To get these benefits, the dosage is very straightforward, and a fresh parsley tea usually works the best. You just take a quarter cup of fresh leaves, let them steep in hot water for about 5 to 10 minutes, and enjoy 1 or 2 cups throughout the day. If you don't have fresh parsley on hand, you can use a teaspoon of dried powder or a liquid tincture, though the fresh leaves are definitely the strongest option. Timing is everything with this herb, so make sure you take your parsley in the morning or the early afternoon, not late at night, because it is such a strong diuretic. It will increase your trips to the bathroom significantly, and taking it before bed will ruin your sleep. Since sleep is when your kidneys do their best repair work, you want to make sure you aren't waking up every hour to run to the bathroom. There are a few safety considerations you need to pay close attention to before you start. If you are pregnant or trying to conceive, you must avoid parsley entirely, because the apiol it contains can actually cause a miscarriage. This is non-negotiable. Also, because parsley contains vitamin K, it can interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin. So a quick talk with your doctor is necessary if you are on those drugs. A few people might notice that their skin becomes more sensitive to sunlight, a rare side effect called photosensitivity. But it is something to keep an eye on. You should also be careful if you are already taking water pills or other diuretics, as parsley can make those effects much stronger than intended. Finally, if you have a history of kidney stones, you should skip the parsley, because it can increase urinary oxalates that might make stones worse. For everyone else, the research shows that parsley is incredibly effective and has been used for centuries to support kidney health. Modern science confirms that the apiol in parsley increases your glomerular filtration, and studies even show it can reduce protein in the urine, which is a major marker of kidney stress. When that protein level drops, it is a clear sign that your kidneys are filtering much better than they were before. The best part? Parsley works faster than anything else on this list, with most people seeing real results in just 2 to 3 weeks. It is the most direct and fastest-acting support you can give your kidneys, making it our clear winner for the #1 spot. Now you have all 5 ingredients. But here is where it gets interesting. The real power comes from using these natural remedies together over a long period of time, because your kidneys do not repair themselves overnight. They improve gradually. Why you might want to start with a simple cup of ginger tea tonight, and then add parsley to your routine next week. Stacking these habits slowly helps you avoid side effects, while giving your body plenty of time to adjust. It is recommended that you check with your doctor first, especially if you take blood thinners or diabetes medication. Drop a comment to let me know which one you are trying first. And make sure to subscribe so you do not miss the next kidney health video.